Hello everyone, welcome to Forever Cricket on Forever Sports. And the Proteas will get their T20 World Cup campaign underway tomorrow, 12 o'clock South African time, when they take on Australia. Now, it's been quite an underwhelming sort of build-up to the T20 World Cup, if we're being brutally honest. And I think a lot of that sort of stems from the fact that there was quite a lot of criticism, and I have my own criticisms, of the T20 squad that South Africa actually have sent over to the UAE for the World Cup, which is officially being hosted by India, but obviously taking place in the UAE because of COVID restrictions and stuff like that. And in many ways, I think that the Proteas have been largely written off before the tournament's even begun. And I mean, as a result, I personally think that could actually very much play in their favor. You know, I think that there's been so much said about the squad and the fact that, you know, players like Faf du Plessis aren't there. And a lot of players who could be involved aren't being involved. And I think a lot of people aren't expecting any much. And maybe that's exactly what a Proteas side need. Because every single time we get to a World Cup, we send a squad which we all feel is going to be competitive and have got enough in them to try and go all the way. And they kind of sort of continuously disappoint. So I wonder, you know, just from a mental point of view, this could actually be quite interesting to sort of see that a side which isn't given a chance, which has, you know, got no expectations, whether that actually might really help them and be able to sort of extend themselves. At the end of the day, T20 is a format where one or two players can literally win you a game. And there are definitely match winners in the Proteas. You know, Tabraiz Shamsi is a match winner. Quinton de Kock is a match winner. We saw that Rassie van der Dussen with that 100 on Wednesday. He can be a match winner. You know, the likes of Anrich Nortje, Kagiso Rabada, there are still lots of world-class players within this Protea side. And it only takes a couple of massive knocks at the right time or big spells at the right time to win T20 games and get yourself, you know, quite far in the World Cup itself. So, you know, I don't think it's never, you can never write sides off when it comes to the T20s because, you know, it's because of the nature of the format. You know, it's not always that the best side always wins every single game. You know, so we've already, insofar in the group stages, for example, seen that Scotland beating Bangladesh. You know, that wasn't supposed to happen, but it did. So there's no reason why this Proteas side can't shock a few people. And even having said that, T20-wise, you know, in terms of T20 form, very, very good results for the Proteas coming into this, you know, having beaten the West Indies, having beaten Ireland, having beaten Afghanistan, having beaten Pakistan, having gone over there and beaten, you know, Sri Lanka, all in the T20 series. It's been a long time since we've actually lost T20 match or sort of series. So we actually have been in pretty decent form when it comes to T20s. But obviously in this World Cup, you will be now taking on your Australias, your Englands, your Indias. But I think the fact that game on Wednesday against Pakistan, you know, I think that really sort of would have given us a lot of confidence in terms of both being able to defend a score and what we saw against in Afghanistan, for example, as well as being able to chase down a score in Pakistan. So up against Australia, what do we expect to see from the team? Well, I think that there are probably sort of it's interesting to sort of see how they will go. First of all, it comes down to the top order. Will they go Quinton de Kock with Reza Hendricks, or will they go Quinton de Kock with Tema Bavuma? Now, that will obviously sort of necessitate a change later in the order. Because in terms also of players that we know will play, Kagiso Rabada, Anrich Nortje, Tabraiz Shamsi, and Keshav Maharaj probably all have to play. We probably do go with two spinners, two seamers, and obviously we need an all-rounder, which I think has to be Dwayne Pretorius. I think that he could be one of the most important players in the squad for this tournament. Now, Rassie van der Dussen is sort of guaranteed at number 4. Now, the question is, you know, or even at 5, I suppose, but, you know, it's trying to sort of fit in. Do you go Aiden Markram and Reza Hendricks, because we know Quinton de Kock and Bavuma plays, and, you know, keep Rassie van der Dussen at sort of at 5, you move him down the order even more, which is a bit dangerous because he's somebody that takes a bit of time, and then you leave out a Heinrich Klaassen, or do you leave out a Reza Hendricks, send him Bavuma up front, you know, Aiden Markram at 3, Rassie van der Dussen at 4, you then go Miller at 5, and you go Klaassen at 6, and then you're into Dwayne Pretorius, Anrich Nortje, Maharaj, Shamsi, Rabada. Now, I personally think that Dwayne Pretorius can bat at 6 if he needs to. If we want to add an extra bowler and go Lungi Ngidi as well, I think he's good enough. I think he's got levers, and I think that we've seen Dwayne Pretorius play some very big T20 innings on the international stage. You know, I think that, you know, lots of people are saying, where is Chris Morris? But I think that Dwayne Pretorius has the potential to be a Chris Morris for us, you know, with the bat. I genuinely do. So it'll be interesting to sort of see how they sort of put the side together. And I think the important thing also comes down to combinations. We know that Temo Vuma and Quinton de Kock bat very well together. Temo's a very good foil in terms of being able to sort of rotate the strike, pick the gaps, and give a lot of strike to Quinton de Kock. And Temo Vuma will often try and bat deep. And we saw that, look, sometimes a little bit too slowly. But we did see. It is somebody coming back from an injury, and we have seen. I think we have seen an improvement in the last two games in the last game from the game before this. So I think that they'll still go with quite a bit of confidence. But I think that Wednesday probably left a bit too much towards the end, even though we did chase it down. So we'll need to step on it. But I think it's quite a nice combination to go with Vuma and Quinton de Kock up front. Aidan Markham, who's got the capacity to reach the boundary at 3. Rusty van der Dussen will still have a little bit of time to be able to sort of get himself in. And then you got to look at the likes of Dave Miller, Heinrich Klaassen, and Graham Pretorius to be able to go and finish towards the end. Bowling wise, I'm actually not too worried because I think that it comes down to where they pitch up. I don't think in terms of who you have to play depends too much. At the end of the day, Kagiso Rabada, Anrich Nokia, Kesha Maros, Tabay Shamsi, and an all-rounder in a Vian Mulder or Dwayne Pretorius, the likes. It's pretty settled at the end of the day. You can add Lungingi as an extra seamer, and we're talking about someone who's had some phenomenal spells in IPL. And not Nokia and Kagiso Rabada were tremendous in the IPL last year when the full tournament took place in UAE, and Tabay Shamsi is the number 1 T20 bowler in the world. So, bowling-wise, I think there are a few teams out there who have a better bowling side. I think there are a couple of teams that matches us, but I think there are a few teams that have better than a Rabada, Nokia, and Shamsi when they're playing well. So this team, as I said, this team's got the potential to do something. Look at the Australian side. Expect to see Finch, Warner at the front, Mitch Marsh, Steve Smith, Glenn Maxwell, obviously a very big player, probably coming towards the sort of middle order. Matthew Wade. And then you're looking at the sort of the seamers, Mitch Stark, Pat Cummins, Zampa, Agar as your two spinners. I think we can get at the Australians, to be honest. I think in many ways, I think that tomorrow we should be pretty evenly matched. Head to head, Australia, I think won 11 T20s. We've won 7 of a total 18. So they are slightly ahead in the statistically, but I don't see any reason why this team can't go out and do the job. Our playing 11, I genuinely think can, when they all play well, beat some of the best teams in the world. And I think that, as I said, without maybe the added pressure, maybe they go on to surprise us. At the end of the day, players might not play well, and we could crash out early. It could go either way, really. But it's too late now to sob and moan about the fact that there's no Faf du Plessis. I do still think it's absolutely ludicrous that he's not there. But it's too late at the end of the day. These are the guys that will take on the field. At the end of the day, they didn't ask Faf du Plessis not to be picked. They didn't ask for it. We've got to support them, even if you don't have to support the CSA, because that's kind of where I am. I'll obviously support the national side, but I understand the CSA is a complete mess. So, yeah, but let me know what you think is going to happen in the game tomorrow. We're very interested to see. I mean, obviously a win early on will be huge for the tournament, for the team's morale, and momentum's a strange thing. An early exit, though, and a really bad performance puts a lot of pressure under the likes of Mark Boucher. We've got another World Cup next year, then another World Cup 50 over the year after. So pressure's already mounting on the coaching staff. Pressure's already mounting on these players. So they've got a lot to prove tomorrow. But yeah, let me know which players you're looking forward to seeing as well. Please do smash like on the video and subscribe to the channel as well. My name is Steven. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll chat to you soon.